People think I have a problem with therapy and therapists because I have the emotional range of a teaspoon. And it's not true. Well, the teaspoon part is, but I don't have a problem with therapists and therapy for personal reasons. I have a problem with it because of the issues I see time and time again for first responders who go and see a therapist. Because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't help. And it's not because therapy doesn't work, because it can work and it can be a fantastic modality. It can be life changing and life saving in many instances. But more often than not, that's not the case because there are so many variables that you have to get right. You have to find a therapist who you work well with, personalities don't clash, someone who you can actually trust. You have to make sure that the modalities and the practices that they use with you work. There would be absolutely no point me going and sitting and doing talk therapy. Like, no, it's not going to work. So you've got to make sure that you find the right specific type of practices. If you're someone who doesn't want to talk, then you need something more somatic. So you got to find that. You got to make sure that the therapist is actually good and cares about their job and wants to help and can help you because as is the case in many instances in life, some people are just not very good at their jobs, which is unfortunate, but that's how it works. We also have to make sure that you have enough time to commit and you can do enough sessions. Most people are given 1 or 2 sessions that are funded by by the system. It's not enough. Things take time. To work on yourself in any area of your life requires time, consistency, and effort. Being given 2 sessions is not enough. You need more. So if you can't financially um, afford the rest of the sessions, then it's a waste of time in the first place. So there's all these different variables going on. But the biggest problem I have when it comes to people going into therapy is that they do it too soon and it destroys progress. I've seen this so many times. People will start working on themselves. They'll have a plan. They'll be implementing the plan. They'll be getting results. They'll be feeling good. Things will be moving in the right direction. Stuff is working. And then all of a sudden, they'll get the call to say that they've gone to the top of the NHS list and they've finally been given a therapist. So they drop the plan. They go to the therapist and then they disappear down a dark hole because when they've gone into that therapy, it's not hit all those requirements I've just discussed, and it's seen them discuss things that have caused them pain and anguish and upset, and then they've left the session feeling like shit with no tools or strategies or anything in place to help them navigate all of that, and they just fall off the wagon. Been doing so well with a plan and working on themselves, building up foundations, feeling good again, and then they've been given this opportunity and it's completely derailed them. I've seen this time and time again, and it frustrates me because most people are offered therapy or explore therapy when they are simply not ready for it. I don't believe that you should be diving in to deep topics and things that cause you emotional pain if you do not have the capacity to cope with that emotional pain. It's like going into the gym and picking up a barbell, loading it with 100 kilos and trying to back squat it if you can't even squat just the bar. There's no point. You're going to hurt yourself more. You're going to derail your progress and you're going to put yourself off from doing anything in the future. I firmly believe that before you go down the route of therapy and diving into all these deep emotional traumas and things like that, that you should have solid foundations in place. You should have good habits. You should have good capacity for managing your stress. You shouldn't be in a space of burnout. You should have dealt with that. You should be overall in a good position to cope. Because if you're not, you're asking for trouble. So why would you not make the effort to sort yourself out first before you go on the emotional roller coaster? Does that not make sense? It does to me. But instead, everybody's got it arse backwards. They feel terrible, they need help, so they go and dive into something that is going to make them feel worse. And in many instances, because they've got an inadequate therapist, or they're with someone that they don't mesh with, or they're exploring the wrong type of modality for their personality and what they need, then just makes things so much worse.